bawat farmers may tanong, bakit ganito? Bakit ganon? Kaya buksan ang isipan sa pagsasaka o agham. Tayo na mga eskwela, tuklasin natin ang lupa, buksan ang pag-iisip. Tayo'y likas na soil scientist. Tayo na mga eskwela, tuklasin natin ang lupa, agrikultura ng ating bayan, siguradong makakamtan.
Magandang araw mga kamag-aral. Kami nga pala ang
Tagapagsiyasat ng Kalupaan.
Ako nga pala, si John Vincent J. Manungsong. At ngayong araw na ito, pag-aaralan natin kung ano nga ba ang GELISOLS. Kaya, ano pang hinihintay nyo? Halina't samahan nyo akong maghukay at maglakbay sa Kalupaan. Tara na!
2 weeks later.
Mukhang napalalim yata ang ating paghukay mga kaibigan. Ayun, yun ang GELISOLS. Balik tayo. Ang GELISOLS. GELISOLS, from the Latin word gelere or to freeze, are soils of very cold climates that contain permafrost within 2 meters of the surface. These soils are limited geographically to the high altitude polar regions and localized areas at high mountain elevations. Because of extreme environment in which they are found, GELISOLS support only approximately 0.4% of the world's population, the lowest percent of any of the soil orders. The frozen condition of GELISOLS landscapes makes them sensitive to human activities. Although, some GELISOLS may occur on very old land surfaces, they show relatively little morphological development. Low soil temperature cause soil-forming processes, such as decomposition of organic materials, to proceed very slowly. As a result, most GELISOLS store large quantities of organic carbon. Only soils of wetland ecosystem contains more organic matter. GELISOLS of the dry valleys of Antarctica are an exception. They occur in a desert environment with no plants and consequently contain very low quantities of organic carbon. They are estimated to occupy approximately 9.1% of the Earth's ice-free land area and approximately 8.7% of the US. Histosols. Organic soil similar to histosols, except that they have permafrost within 2 meters below ground surface. They have 80% or more organic materials from the soil surface to a depth of 50 cm or to a glacial layer or densec, lithic, or paralytic contact, whichever is shallowest. These soils occur predominantly in subarctic and low Arctic regions of continuous or widespread permafrost, less than 1/3 of the active layer, the soil between the ground surface and the permafrost table, or an ice layer which is at least 30 cm thick, has been cryoturbated. Turbals. Soils that show marked influence of cryoturbation, more than 1/3 of the soil depth of the active layer, such as irregular, broken, or distorted horizon, boundaries and involutions, and areas with patterned ground. They commonly contain stonks of mineral and organic horizons, organic and mineral intrusions, and oriented rock fragments. Organic matter is accumulated on top of the permafrost, and ice or sand wedges are common features. Turbals occur primarily in the zone of continuous permafrost. Orthos. Soils that show little or no cryoturbation, less than one-third of the depth of the active layer. Patterned ground except for polygons generally is lacking. Orthos occur primarily with the zone of discontinuous permafrost and in alpine areas.
Antarctica!
Grabe, lamig! Salamat nga pala at sinamahan niyo ako sa aking paglalakbay. At ngayon, nandito naman ang aking ibang kagrupo upang ipaliwanag kung ano pa ba ang tungkol sa GELISOLS.
And now, let's talk about the characteristics of GELISOL, including its diagnostic horizon. But first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Jason Umali Balasa from Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, major in Crop Science. GELISOLs are dark organic layer with a mineral layer. These layers are usually mixed due to cyroturbation. It is also slow in decomposition, resulting in a peat layer on the surface. GELISOLs also store large amounts of organic carbon. They can form in any parent material. There is no limitation in relief. GELISOLs take a long time to form. Its likely vegetation is lichens, mosses, and grasses. The typical horizon sequence of GELISOLs would be A, BW, and CF, which is the frozen soil. GELISOLs can be very old soils. However, they usually don't exhibit much in terms of soil development due to short growing seasons, cold temperatures, limited plant growth, and many more. One thing that is interesting about GELISOLs is that in some landscape, they create a hexagonal pattern caused by the expansion of ice in cracks as shown in the following picture. And for the typical environment of GELISOL, it is commonly found in tundra regions of Alaska. It is not found in MN. It's also found in cold climates that contain permafrost within 2 meters of surface. GELISOLs found in high-latitude polar regions and high mountain elevations as well. And for the diagnostic horizon of GELISOL, a typical diagnostic feature is permafrost, which permafrost soil defined as the soil at or below the freezing point of water, 0 degrees Celsius or the 32 Fahrenheit for 2 or more years. And the another diagnostic horizon of GELISOL is argillic.
Good day. I am Gladys May Ramos and I am going to discuss the world population and soil series of GELISOL. So first is the world population. Because of the extreme environment in which GELISOL can be found, it supports only approximately 0.4% of the world's population, which is the lowest percentage of any of the soil series. According to study, GELISOL are estimated to occupy approximately 9.1% of the Earth's ice-free land area and approximately 8.7% of the US. The illustration shows the global distribution of GELISOL, which is the 9.1% of the Earth's ice-free land area. Let's talk about the soil series of GELISOL. GELISOL have either permafrost or a layer that remains below freezing for 2 or more successive years within 1 meter of the soil surface, or soil materials showing evidence of frost churning within 1 meter and permafrost within 2 meters of the soil surface. GELISOL has small accumulation of organic matter, and because of that, most of the GELISOLs are black or dark brown in color, followed by a shallow mineral layer. They have no B horizon, while A horizon rests on the top of the permafrost. GELISOL are highly leached and has low nutrients, and it is known to be fragile and easily eroded soil. GELISOL has also severe restrictions on constructions, engineering, and others. It has minimum horizon development because of the low soil temperature condition.
I am Lopez Bea and I will report the formation and the factors of GELISOLS. Formation and factors. GELISOLS may occur on very own land surfaces. They show relatively little morphological development. Low soil temperatures cause soil forming processes such as decomposition of organic materials to proceed very slowly. As a result, most GELISOLs store large quantities of organic carbon. Only soils of wetland ecosystem contain more organic matter. GELISOLs of the dry valleys of Antarctica are an exception. They occur in a desert environment with no plants and consequently contain very low quantities of organic carbon. GELISOLs generally have limited profile development. Most of the soil forming process in this soil occur near the surface, sometimes resulting in significant accumulation of organic matter. Large areas of this soil occur in the northern regions of Russia, Canada, and Alaska. These areas become boggy wetlands in the summer and support large numbers of migratory birds and grazing mammals. The permafrost of GELISOLs tends to become unstable or melt if disturbed, leading to a waterlogged soil condition that poses problems for engineering uses.
Have a good day. I want to introduce myself first. I am Haitian Fajardo, Sipilio, and my topics about the special informations of GELSOL. In order to use GELSOL for human uses, many precautions need to be made, mostly to ensure that the permafrost stay frozen. This would be precaution like putting building in silt so that the area directly above the soil stay cool. Avoiding leaving open holes in them that so they do not go out from the exposed soil profile. Generally, they are the best live wild or used for habitat. Wildfire and human activity can cause permafrost retreat and uh, it will be according to Bo et al. 1993. Put it change a near level retrain into hilly thermokarst 1. So according to Bool 1993, uh, it's better to use the gelosol because it will be sustain and maintain the 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 cold of the area, the cold of the soil. So according to and in generally, so it is the best wild to use for habitat. So according to her, it will be the best habitat. So despite the influence of glaciation in the most area will gelsol occur, chemically they are not highly fertile because nutrients, especially calcium and the potassium, are very easily to ledge about the purple frost. So gelsol was chemically they are not highly fertile. Di daw siya mataas yung fertility of the soil because of the nutrients and especially because of the calcium and the potassium is barely rich about the permafrost. So uh, this is the special informations about the gel salt. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Joyce Rafael Nabe, and today I will be reporting the vegetation in gelisols and differences of gelisols among other soil orders.
Gelisols are divided into three suborders, namely the Histal, Ortal, and the Terbal. Histal are the gelisols with large amount of organic carbon. They are in Alaska. The vegetation is mostly mosses, sedges, and shrubs. The soil are used as wildlife habitat. Ortals. Ortals are the gelisols that show little or no evidence of cryoturbation. They occur throughout the gelisol area in Alaska. The vegetation is mostly lichens, mosses, sedges, shrubs, black spruce, and white spruce. The soil are used mostly as wildlife habitats. Turbels. Turbels are the gelisols show cryoturbation in the form of irregular, broken, or distorted horizon boundaries, involutions, an accumulation of organic matter on top of the permafrost, ice or sand wedges, or oriented rock fragments. They occur throughout the gelisol area in Alaska. The vegetation is mostly mosses, sedges, shrubs, and black spruce. The soils are used mostly as wildlife habitat. Difference between other soil orders. Gelisols, one of the 12 orders of the U.S. soil taxonomy, gelisols are perennially frozen soils of the Arctic and Antarctic regions, but they are also found at extremely high elevation in the lower latitudes. They are fragile, easily eroded soils, and their location near the polar ice caps makes them important indicators of the early sign of the global warming. Covering approximately 13% of the total continental land area on Earth, gelisols are found primarily in Russia and Canada, with minor occurrence in the Alaska, in the United States, and in the Antarctica. Gelisols differ from entisol, histisol, inceptisol, and vertisol solely by the additional presence of permafrost. The permafrost layer may have a high organic carbon content like histosols, or may exhibit substantial vertical mixing of the soil owing to cycle of freezing and thawing, resulting in structures similar to those found in vertisols.